Leading, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. We've got 13:25 remaining in the first quarter. First and 10. Watch the reverse here. It is Mike Tolliver gets a good block from Rose. Now turns it up at the 30. Across the 45 and down to about the 48-yard line. So the reverse, the Cardinal beginning to employ it more and more. We saw it twice last week. And they go with it right here. It's the first time we've seen Tolliver carry the football, though, in 2 years.
There you see the reverse on the replay. When we talked to the Stanford coaches yesterday, they told us that Stanford would come out and show a little bit of everything in the beginning of this game, and certainly they're doing that.
I mentioned earlier that Washington State lost last week 42-17 to UCLA, but they were ahead midway through the third quarter, 17-14. UCLA got about 4 quick touchdowns, and it looked like a blowout, but it wasn't. Elway to Dotterer on a delay over the middle, and Mike Dotterer has the first down and then some. He's to about the 22-yard line. Gerald Waters along with Tracy Atkins, who is the nickel back, number 22, making the tackle for Washington State. And it is another first down for Stanford.
Once again, there's that delayed screen pass that we were talking about. Probably seen an awful lot of this today. Good run.
The fishnet there is for Mark Harmon, should it be needed. But right now, it is first and 10 at the 22. Stanford started this drive at its own 17-yard line after Washington scored on a 60-yard bomb. Pass for to T.J. Jones. This is Dotterer. And Dotterer bumps his way across the 15-yard line. Emil is there along with Gerald Waters and Rod Rutherford. Waters, number 2 for Washington State, as you look at Dotterer, again getting the call. Mr. Utility Man, outstanding baseball player, will probably one day play Major League Baseball. And he does the job when he's called on. Number 24. Good, fast running back. Vincent White, bruised shoulder. It's going to be Dotterer. And Dotterer is really tough inside the 10. 2nd and 1. See what Elway does with this potential passing situation. He gives to Dotterer, and he goes behind Rose. Correct, at Rob Moore, the fullback, and the left side of the offensive line. Moran and Deaton. But it is enough for the first down, so Stanford will keep it going, and Vincent White, for the first time, checks into the lineup for Stanford. Vincent White, of course, the leading pass receiver in the nation. 7+ catches a game. Vincent has really been slow, though, in the last couple of weeks because of the injury to his shoulder. There he is. And it almost appears that he's got extra large shoulder pads on today. Elway to throw. Looks in the direction of White. He's got a blocker there. It's Hooper. He gets rid of one man. And Vincent takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Stanford. Score 10-10. Then Stanford went on a scoring drive and unleashed an awesome running game. That's right, an awesome running game led by this guy right here. They went 47 yards for a score, 42 on the ground, and you had a 24-yarder in there, Rob Moore. That's a marathon for you.
Yeah, it sure is. I think my longest up to this point was about 10 during the year. And this game was a lot different for us because, I mean, here I am carrying the ball and we're running the ball. I'm run blocking, and usually I'm pass blocking or catching the ball. So this game was a lot different.
Why do you suppose that you went to the running game other than the fact that it was working and John was having problems? You really had it going, though. Well, just taking what was there?
Yeah, we were taking what was there. They played us a little bit different than we thought they would. They had a couple linebackers hurt, so what they did is they brought in some extra defensive backs. And they had the defensive backs playing linebackers and up near the line. So when we went with the running game, we could beat them, but when we went with the pass, they could man under us, cover us man-to-man, and we just couldn't get open.
Well, it was working on the ground. You had over 40 yards, I know, at last count. That's a career for you. I know you're going to want to watch this drive, so we're going to take a look at it. The drive that goes 47 yards for a Stanford score. 2nd down and 10 now for Stanford. Rob Moore with a big opening. Rob Moore across the 20, inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Just a great run.
The free safety finally made the tackle, but a good job of blocking that time by the Stanford front.
Rob Moore comes back against the grain, finds a lot of room there. I think that might even be able to get through there myself, Pete. Nice big hole and a great run by Greg.
Matt Moran with an outstanding block there at the line of scrimmage for the Cardinal on the ground. It's Greg Hooper. Well, this game is all twisted around because Washington State, not noted as a passing team, has scored their only touchdown on a 60-yard bomb, and Stanford, which does nothing to put the ball in the air, is taking it now on the ground and moving it inside the 10-yard line. 2nd and 7. For Stanford, they can get to about the 2.5 for the first. Give it to Dotterer. Dotterer slants to the 5. Working on the left side, Jeff Deaton, Matt Moran on the blocking.
Take another look as they, as you said, pounded out on the ground, Pete.
Dotterer very effective, as we mentioned, inside the 10-yard line. He has 3 TDs, and all of them have come from working in that zone. Does a good job of staying and following off the block that they give him at the line of scrimmage. Paul Wiggins would like nothing better than a score right now. There's 4:49 remaining in the half. It would be nice to take to the locker room. Elway straight back to pass. Looks. Throws over here. Lobs it to Dotterer. Touchdown, Stanford. The Cougars, with only 1 win on the season, and that way back on opening day against Idaho, just wouldn't go away against Stanford, though. And they scored with very little time to go in the first half behind the running of a guy by the name of Tim Harris. Stanford leading at 17-10. They say it's at the 2-yard line. Casper going to throw the football. Over the middle, has a man all alone. It's the tight end, Layton. Touchdown.
Take a look at this. He rolls to the right, Pete, throws back to the left, and there's nobody within 10 yards of him.
Sophomore Vince Layton, who, remember, was a linebacker at the start of this year.
Throwing the ball back, and he's wide open.
His first touchdown of the season, only the second all year in the air. For Washington State, they add the extra point. Does John Trout, and we are even.
And we've got a ball game.
At 17. Stanford had another drive going on the ground, but Mike Dotterer coughed up the football, and Washington State had it, but couldn't stand prosperity, and on the next play gave it up thanks to Kevin Baird and the fumble recovery by Eric Price. Another turnover for the Cougars to take advantage of. The last one, an interception by Killian. They go on a reverse, and it's T.J. Jones. Say hello to Kevin Baird. He fumbles the ball, and it is Eric Price who gets it. He can't take it in. He cannot take it in. It'll spot it at the 18-yard line, but just like that, Stanford has the football back and gets some yards to boot.
And once the ball hits the ground here, that essentially becomes dead. You can't advance it forward. If he'd have caught it in the air, he could have. There he goes. The ball slips loose. And it bounces up into his hands, and that's where they'll mark the ball.
Credit Kevin Baird with a strip of T.J. Jones, but Eric Price with a fumble recovery. So Stanford now will start it at the 19 of Washington State. Here's a break with your Cardinal and your Paul Wiggins you want to take advantage of. Not with 3, but 6. Reverse again? No. Fake. Dotterer has it again. Dotterer grinds his way across the 15-yard line. Blocker with a tackle. That sounds strange. Blocker with a tackle. Mark Blocker, number 10. A senior from Los Angeles, making the tackle for Washington State. 11:04 remaining in the quarter. Stanford at the 14-yard line of Washington State. Trying to get in the end zone. They have twice today on Elway passes of 11 yards to Vincent White and 6 to Dotterer. Going tough out there against that Cougar defense. Junior Tupuola, who has been a very busy young man out there this afternoon, making tackles on Hooper. Stanford had 98 yards, as they indicated at the half, rushing. Most of the yardage they picked up on that last drive that started at the 32. They got about, I'd say, 150 yards. Most of it was on the ground. In fact, all of it was. So they got to be up around 150, which would be almost double their average rushing for a game. Here is Dotterer. Dotterer to the 2-yard line. Good block that time. The whole left side. Center Tevis, Matt Moran, and Jeff Deaton. Rod Rutherford with a tackle. Jack, I got to wonder if maybe something's not wrong with John Elway. He has not put the ball up this half. Granted, they're doing the job on the ground.
They're really doing a great job on the ground. Both Hooper and Dotterer. I mean, they're slashing through there and finding their holes very well. A couple of plays ago, we saw Hooper go off tackle and make a great run. I think John's just not having a real good day passing. The rush is coming pretty hard. Why not go with the ground game for a while?
3 tight ends. Beatty is in there, the freshman, on a wing. Give us to Dotterer. Bumps once and gets in. Found itself down 24-20, but got a drive going on the ground. 82 yards they went. Tim Harris diving in for the score that put Washington State on top 26-24. And Stanford had a problem with only 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the ball game. Enter Mike Dotterer, having his best day, I think, of your career, you'd have to agree. Over 140 yards on the ground. He just really took it to him. The offensive line doing a job as well.
Exactly, Pete. You got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They did a great job of blocking, and I can't go any place. Vincent can't go any place without our offensive line. And one of the questions up in the radio booth was, why did we run the ball so much? And I think it's just because we got 10 yards of crack. They were giving us the run, and I was just tickled pink to put that one in and win the ball game.
When was the determination made to stay on the ground?
Well, before the game, Coach Fossil and Coach Anderson both told Vincent White and myself that we were going to run the ball a little more this week. So we were prepared, but I wasn't, I've never run the ball that many times in my career at Stanford, and it was just a good feeling, and knowing that we can run the ball, and hopefully next week Washington will be a little more wary of our run game.
Well, let's take one more look at your running game anyway, with that offensive line in front of you and that final drive. Stanford with 2 timeouts to their credit. Washington State has only 1. 2:53 to go in the game. John Elway has not passed for 100 yards. John Elway, 9 of 24 for 76 yards. He's 0 for 4 in the second half. He hasn't passed for a yard in this half. And Dotterer stretches it out, gets it out of bounds, stops the clock, and is close to a first down.
It's a good, smart run on Dotterer's part as he takes the ball out of bounds. Let's watch it again. Takes a pitch around the right side and hits the sideline and picks up the first down. Great run. Mark, been doing a great job all day.
Dotterer, unofficially 105 yards rushing, as Vincent White has played very little this afternoon. First down for Stanford. They're doing it on the ground. Here's Dotterer. Dotterer gets another first down.
Another good, hard run right up the middle.
Stanford looks almost like USC this afternoon. Rob Moore with an infrequent carry, but Rob gets about 5 on a first down play, and that's been the key. Stanford has been getting good yardage on first down. A minute 11. Allard with a tackle. Moore with 40 yards on the day. Dotterer, 131. Here's Dotterer, finds an opening, a big hole. Dotterer trips on, gets down to about the 5-yard line. If Dots hadn't gotten his feet mixed up, he might have gotten 2 more, or 3. Watch him here, a little stumble. Right there.
It's down to about the 4-yard line.
Timeout has been called. I believe it's against Washington State. Yes, they are out of timeouts. That's significant. Should they get the football back? There are 53 seconds left. Cougar fans exhorting the defense to get tough now. Here we go. First down. 3 tight end offense. Dotterer, sweep right. Cuts it back. Good job that time by Mark Blocker, the cornerback, number 10. Messed up that play. He had a good force from his cornerback position, made Dotterer turn it up before he wanted to. Watch here.
doesn't have much room to go. Starts outside, takes a look, and starts to come back.
Second down and 5 for Stanford. Pitch to Dotterer left. Gets the block. Cuts it up.
Touchdown.
You got it. Great second effort by Mike Dotterer. That's the only thing you can say. Got a good block initially as he cut it up, but then it was all Dotterer.
He's smelling the goal line here. Just a great run. Breaks a tackle or two there, gains his feet, and falls over the goal line. What a great run.
His third touchdown on the afternoon for Mike Dotterer. 2 on the ground, 1 in the air, and the third one real important. Here's Harmon on for the point after out of Cottrell's hold, and Harmon gets it, and it's gotten quiet here. And the Cougars have but 22 seconds to do something. They trail it 31-26. My goodness. And that's the way it ended up, 31-26. Stanford with that awesome ground game. And I'm sure the Washington Huskies, the next opponent at Palo Alto, when they get the game films, are going to figure that somebody has been tampering with those films. It'll be the Huskies next week against the Stanford Cardinal. Cardinal now 4-3 on the season. Join us then. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm Pete Liebengood. So long from Pullman, Washington. Stanford football 1982 has been brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light, the surprise is how good it tastes. And by the makers of Toyota cars and trucks, who remind you that it's a good feeling to buckle up for safety.